see anybody else coming in right now, or are we all here? Okay, we're all here. So I will go ahead and I'm gonna share screen. I guess to start us off, one of the, we did this for the first time last year, June 2020, we did a Zoom. That was our first orientation over the over cameras. But one of the constructive criticism pieces I received afterwards was, hey, wouldn't it be nice if everybody could do a little introduction of each other? So to start us off, let's start with that. And then we'll jump into kind of going through a few of the slides that we have here for the orientation. So if we just want to, talk about who we are and how long we've been a Lion, anything else brief you want to share, and then we'll jump in. Cheryl, you want to start us off?
Oh, thanks.
Yes, of course.
Cheryl Anderson, secretary for the Grand Rapids Lions Club. Been a member since 2004. Gary was not my sponsor. I was inducted in a motorhome on my way to Denver, Colorado International Convention.
That's
Surprise
awesome.
him.
Love it.
Advisor to the Grand Valley Campus Club that's also been around since 2004.
Okay.
I must be longer than that, but anyway, and they're still going, not as strong with COVID, but they're still going.
Okay.
Go on mission trips, take care of Gary, and take care of all you guys.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. Shelley? You want to tell us a little bit about? Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
My microphone. Been a Lion, I guess, almost 11 years, thanks to sponsor Clarence Anderson with his little wings watching us as we speak. What a journey that has been, and certainly was always dubbed as the first female president of this club. So that's going to be the trivia question 50 years from now. Is who was the first female president of the Grand Rapids Lions Club?
Love it.
I'll take that to the bank. And then, of course, my day job, the WGBU Morning Show, where Gary Anderson will be the first guest tomorrow morning at 9:04.
Love it. That's awesome. Bob?
I'm Bob Younger. I've been a Lion for just over a year, and Jamie Janad was my sponsor. I've played golf with these guys for I don't know how many years, and I figured I better join the Lions because I'm giving enough money away to them now. I might as well give enough money to the Lions group,
Love it. That's great. Welcome.
Thank you.
Ann?
I have been a Lion, I believe, 13 or 14 years, Cheryl. I'm not sure. Dr. Pat Drosty was my sponsor, and I was the second woman president to the club, following Shelley. I really found being a Lion was a wonderful way to blend my career as a teacher of the visually impaired and mobility specialist with the vision mission that to serve that the Lions have, and also participated on, been honored to participate on several committees and go on mission trips. So it's been a great opportunity for me, and my husband, Jim, got him involved as well, and he's enjoyed it.
That's wonderful. Yeah. Hey, Gary, you want to tell us? I think we might know who you are, but just in case.
No. And yeah, I'm Gary, and this is 42 years of being a Lions member, which sounds insane.
Wow.
And I was invited to go to a lunch meeting in 1979 by the building manager of McKay Tower. So Gary, come to a lunch meeting. That was Jim Starr, who was the secretary of the club. And I had no idea what I was getting into, and at all. And I don't say that negatively at all, because I've been able to travel the world and meet people from around the world and do things I never would have imagined, all because of it. And it's just, well, vision missions, and got to go on that first vision mission and with Dennis Cobbler, which was amazing because Dennis lives 45 miles away. We both joined Lions Club at the same time, but in 79, I didn't meet him till 1995 when we went on the first vision mission. And I had no idea who he was. And I had no idea about Lions vision missions. And I said, I got to keep doing this. And that was 30 missions ago.
Yes.
So you never know what door's going to open.
No. Mm-mm.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing.
And how about you, John?
Yeah, so John Rice, I am currently serving as a membership director and newsletter editor. And past president, I was president in, I think it was 2010, just after Shelley, actually. Yeah. So good things. I joined in 2003, so guess we're at, but getting on there in years a little bit. But it's been great. It's been a wonderful place to meet a lot of nice people, wonderful friends, and get back to the community at the same time. So it's been good. And I so appreciate all of you being on here today. I'm going to jump into sharing the screen and kind of walk through a few slides with you. And if at any point anybody has any questions, just feel free to ask away, and we'll kind of run through here. So this talks a little bit about, number one, who are we as Lions? And we'll kind of get into this, but essentially the idea behind the orientation today is to talk about who we are as Lions and the structure. So Lions International, the district, our club, and then some resources that can be helpful for us as members. Nearly 1.4 million members worldwide in over 208 countries. I think about that, like you could wear your Lions Club pin in any airport and probably meet somebody else who's a Lion who's been impacted by a Lion member in some way. It's amazing. And more than 46,000 clubs. So there's a lot of power in many hands making light work. Our vision statement is to be the global leader in the community and humanitarian service. And our mission statement is to empower volunteers. I have to move my little thing so I can read. I empower volunteers to serve their communities, meet humanitarian needs, encourage peace, and promote international understanding through Lions Club. And I think a great way to summarize that is our motto in We Serve. There's so many different clubs that give in so many different ways. We as a club have chosen to focus more on vision, and what a great way to summarize all that and say we serve.
And John, that mission statement is the international mission.
Thank you. Yes, to help clarify that. And there are so many benefits, but when you think about it, being part of the Lions Club, not only are we helping people in need here locally, but worldwide. We've joined not just the Grand Rapids Lions Club. We're now a member of Lions International. Another big piece, leadership development and enhancing skills that are used in business and personal life. I've heard from so many different people how they feel like they are a better person for their family and for their clients or their business because of the skills that they've been able to learn and hone through Lions. Working hands-on to meet the community needs. And of course, for those that don't have time, it's such a great outlet to be able to, if they have other resources that they're able to give, even if they don't have time to do hands-on things, we're still having an impact on the community. And networking and meeting new people, even for some of us who have just golfed together, right, Bob?
Correct.
Love it. So, really, if you think about the structure, we are a part of the 46,000 clubs. So when you think about it, Lions Club International, from there we pare down into our, we're part of multiple district 11, which is the lower peninsula, a portion of the lower peninsula of Michigan. And then our Grand Rapids Lions Club. So we're part of a large whole. And I want to go into each of these a little bit just to kind of give you a structure. So if you think about the history, a couple of newsletters ago, we had a little small piece about Melvin Jones. And with that was a great video. I'm going to send out some links later that you'll find in there, a link to the Melvin Jones video. But just talking a little bit about the history itself. 1917, Melvin Jones founded Lions Club International. And in 1920, it became international with the first Canadian club. And as I recall, there was some unique history to that. Is that right, Gary?
Right, it was the Windsor Club right across the river from Detroit. 1920 was Prohibition, and it was that they could go over there and drink. And it was, yeah.
Love it. And you've probably heard, that Helen Keller had challenged the Lions to become Knights of the Blind, and that was not the original intent of Melvin Jones. But in 1925, that was a charge that came from Helen Keller and was accepted and adapted by Lions Club International, and from there really grew to become their mission. I thought this was fascinating. 1945, Lions Club International helped to draft the United Nations Charter. And to this day, there is a Lions Club International Day where members from Lions Club all over the world can come to the UN. And I believe that usually happens in the spring. Do you know the date?
It's in early March. We just, actually, they just had it virtually this past Saturday.
There you go. So 1957, we had our first Leo Club created. So Leo Club is designed for those under 21, I believe.
Under
And
18. Under
18? Okay. And designed to, foster and get younger members of our community involved and really help them grow up to become Lions. There are many Leos that love it and segue right into becoming a Lions member as they age out. 1968, we had the Lions Club International Foundation established. And then in 1987, we actually began to admit women as members. That was historical as well. 1990, Site First was launched. That still runs today. And of course, today we've grown to be the international organization I mentioned earlier. Over 200 countries, 208 now. It's amazing.
And when you look at 1987 with women being admitted, the interesting part is back when Melvin Jones founded the organization, he intended to have women in it. His wife said no. They didn't want him going to meetings where there was women. So
Love it.
it took 70 years to overcome that.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
something.
it
It
is.
is Pam Van Overloop.
Do we have more people?
Pam Van Overloop is coming in.
Oh, wonderful. Good. Well, welcome. So this is an interesting slice here. So when we wear our pins, and I have to get a magnetic pin because I didn't want to put a big punch in this vest here. But I love to wear this pin. I found like if I'll even wear it when I'm going shopping at Meijer or something, people will have comments about it. But the official name of our association is the International Association of Lions Clubs, or simply Lions Clubs International. So when you write it out, there is an S on the end of clubs. That said, the logo itself, it's gold, blue in the middle, and we've got one side of the lion facing towards the past, looking back upon our proud past, and the other side of Lions Club looking optimistically towards the future. I love that about our logo. I think that has real power to it. And it's so easily recognizable. You can put this logo anywhere and people know exactly what it is. As far as the international structure, there's an international president, a first president, vice president, a second vice president, and immediate past president. And from there, the International Board of Directors has 34 members and 8 board appointees. And the International Constitution and bylaws are what govern Lions Clubs International, and therefore also form a basis for the club bylaws from there. And we have with us a past international board director. Gary, would you like to share some input on this?
Oh, it's just, it's a great opportunity. The board runs, supposedly runs the organization worldwide. So members from all over the world, of which out of the 34, 8 are from the US.
Okay,
So, and it's a 2-year term. So, and every year there's another 17 elected. So there's a turnover. And you can only serve once. You have to be a board member or a past board member to run for vice president. And actually there is now a 3rd vice president. That position was expanded a couple of years ago.
okay. Get this updated. So if you're ever in Oak Brook, Illinois, you are welcome to stop by and take a tour of the international headquarters. There's 275 staff members in 11 different divisions. I won't read them all, but essentially they're going to deal from everything from club supplies to finance to legal and leadership. And as you can imagine, if you think about 46,000 clubs, that's a lot of people with a lot of questions. And the other
There's
thing I
also
always think, yes, sir.
16 official languages. So they have translators there to be able to
Yes.
speak in all of the languages.
Yeah, amazing. I was just going to get to that and thinking about, if we have 46,000 clubs in 208 countries, not all of them are speaking English. So yeah, incredible. So as far as our, the way we're organized, this down here in orange, this is us, District 11C1, and you can see how the lower peninsula of Michigan is broken into, we're all part of District 11, one way or the other, and we're part of 11C1. The Upper Peninsula is considered District 10. Just think it would have been different had the Toledo War gone differently, right? So here we are. We've got, there's 750 districts, 38 or more clubs and at least 1,250 members in each district. And each separate district is run by the district governor. Our district governor, I'm going to send this link out to you, but our district webpage is this right here. So lionsdistrict11c1.org. I'm going to send these links out to everybody here that's on this so that you can see all this. And they post to it quite frequently. It's an excellent source if you would like to participate in any of these in the district events that are going on. Because it is a district, they're a lot more local than our state or our national events, and it's a great way to continue to participate outside of our club, but still participate with Lions. We are actually the only state to have 2 districts, so I think that's fascinating. Let's see here. I'll get into us as a club. So we've kind of gone through international, the state or the district, and now in us as a club. So so think about it. Melvin Jones started Lions Club International in 1917. We started in 1919. And I don't remember, Gary, do you recall, were we 3rd or 4th club in the world? It was something pretty darn close to that.
Well, we were the first club in the Lower Peninsula.
Yeah.
We were the
Yeah.
second club in Michigan. Marquette was the first club 2 weeks ahead of us. And Melvin Jones was just going around the country trying to start Lions clubs. I mean, he founded our Lions Club. So that's why they're single district 10. They used to be a multiple district because they were big enough. So they were 10, then they came down here because like you said, of the Straits, we should all be one, but, or else we should kick them off and put them into Wisconsin.
Love it. So obviously we talked about this too, but I'll send out the video. There is an excellent video that came about for our 100th anniversary, which was right in 2019, so just a couple years ago. And that video has now been uploaded to YouTube, so you can watch it anytime. Great information in there. And when I send out the links, I'll send you the link to the YouTube playlist where this is on there as well. As far as our own club, so we have a chairman of the board. We have the president role, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and membership director. And you're going to see in the next probably month or so where we'll be having some votes on some of these coming up. But each of our positions now are 2 years. Many years ago, they were 1 year apiece, and we kind of did some restructuring where each of these are now 2-year roles. But essentially, you can kind of see how this works. But vice president is club elected, and they move up to president. Then president moves up to chairman of the board, and so on and so forth. And a lot of times, our directors and our one of our directors will typically become the next VP candidate. This is how we're broken down right now, or structured right now. Ed is our chairman of the board, and he'll be doing that for another year. And this is bottom line. If you ever have any questions, you can reach out to your pride group leader or any one of us here on the call. We can point you in the right direction. But it's just kind of handy to kind of know, hey, who's leading what events right now. So like if you look at Anna Clifford, one of our directors, she's in charge of marketing communications. Under that falls the blind dinner date and technology, just to kind of give you a brief idea of how these things are organized. And we also have this on our club webpage as well, so that we can have easy access to it. Our directors are staggered so that, you know, each year we end up electing 2 more directors, but we don't ask for full board turnover every year. This way, we've always got experience that stays on the board, and somebody on the board is always knowing, hey, this is how we did it in the past. How do we need to adjust for doing it in the present? Our club year starts over July 1. So, you know, obviously we all take the summer off from lunches, and that's also a time when we transition into our new year. So you'll notice as we, a lot of times when you see the dates on things, they're going to be split saying, hey, this is the 2021 year, and so on and so forth. Let's see. As far as meetings, everybody on board here knows, but we're currently meeting first and third Tuesdays from noon to 1:30. Some nice opportunities as we kind of get a chance to start socializing in person again and volunteering in person. Some things just to kind of put on your radar would be eyeglass recycling. That is a great opportunity, no experience necessary. You can show up, and it's on the job training. Once you've done each role a few times, you could show up anytime 2 years later and fall right back into it. But that said, we moved our, we used to be a little bit further south in Kentwood off 52nd Street, and we moved last spring, just as COVID-19 hit. And so we have not all volunteered at this new location yet. I don't think it's been open yet for all of us. But that said, we'll get this info out to you as well. But it's over off 29th Street. It's kind of near the Burger King off of East Paris and 29th Street. A lot of people know where that's at. We've got bowling on Mondays. When that, again, when everything lifts and we're able to socialize in person again, that's definitely something to put on your radar. That's a lot of fun. You do not have to be a great bowler to participate. I'm proof of that. But it is a lot of fun. It's a great way to meet a lot of people. And for some reason, they always have the ability, like they have an endless amount of Coors that you can purchase. So I don't know why that is, but and then obviously watch for social events. We'll typically, as we see COVID-19 things lifted here, we'll typically have something over the summer, early fall, and then throughout our years as we're meeting as well. And then as far as we talked about eyeglass recycling, but then Gary had mentioned about the mission trips. One thing that might be helpful just to know, Gary, is how do people currently qualify to volunteer for one of those?
Well, we look at who's been working in recycling, whether you're picking up glasses, you're working in a recycling center and spending some time. So it's kind of an earned position to be able to go. On the average winter trip that we do in February, we take, say, 22 people, of which, say, we usually have at least 6 docs. And so we have 16 that are not docs. And if you want to go and you've done some work in recycling, then, we can put you on the team. So everybody pays their own way. It's usually about $800 to $1,000 that it costs for transportation and for staying in the room. We each pay our own room, and usually the clubs there get us a deal in the local motel, and it's like $25 a night per person, which usually includes breakfast.
Okay.
So we're not in 5-star, but we're very comfortable, and we have a great time.
That's great. Okay, so start volunteering at the
Eyeglass recycling, as soon as we get it opened up a little more. Yes.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Other opportunities, and this is as a new member, these are each phenomenal ways to get to know members better, and also find something that it may speak to a passion within you. One of the events that Anne, who's on our call now, leads is our children's holiday shopping. It's an excellent way to be able to volunteer and help local kids. Another is the blind dinner date, and that date varies. Right now, it typically was in the spring, but each of these committees are always looking for people who can volunteer. And it's a great way to just put something on your radar and say, I'd love more information about that. And you can reach out to me anytime if you say, hey, who should I reach out to about, getting involved in blind dinner date? Reach out and we'll put you in touch with the right person. Blind dinner date is designed to help raise money for the Association for Blind and Visually Impaired, Cherry Street Health, for our vision clinic there, and also the eyeglass program to the Kent Intermediate School District. So it has quickly grown to be one of our largest fundraisers annually. We also have the White Cane Week. Last year, I think we ended up needing to postpone this, didn't we? Just because
Correct.
of COVID restrictions.
Yeah.
We'll see what's going to happen with it this year. Have you guys heard anything further about it?
We did it just as a contribution. They did it just as a mail contribution towards that fund, but we didn't do anything active. No.
Okay. And this year as well, 2021? Same? Okay.
Same.
Okay. So this is a great thing to put on your radar for next year. It's only a couple hours of each person's time, but it is amazing. We're typically standing out in front of the Walmart over on Alpine. That's how we've done it the last couple of years. And the people who give, it is amazing how many people come up and say, A, thank you so much for volunteering. B, here's $1. And you know that some of them are giving you $1 instead of buying their whatever it was they planned to buy. And C, they're telling you somehow, some way that Lions Club affected them. Multiple times you see people come up and say, oh, they helped my daughter, they helped me. My dad was a Lion, my grandpa was a Lion. So it's a great way to give a few hours of your time, and yet the impact of that lasts all year long. High school.
Again,
Yes.
what was happening with that this May? Are we doing this?
We're not doing it in person. No, we can't.
Okay.
We can't in person. There's too much hand-to-hand contact.
Well, yeah, the same thing happened. I know I was with Ann on the call and emailing with the shopping, and that had to be canceled the same way. But how is the White Cane going to be conducted this year?
Well, Bob, as Gary said, it was strictly done through a mail solicitation last year. We kind of didn't know until we got closer to the date. And we will probably look at October rather than May, which is what we did last year. And the same process of a mail solicitation, depending on where we are with COVID.
Okay.
But we did take in about $4,500, which
Oh,
was
that's
very
great.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's
Thanks.
great. Yeah. Great question, Bob. High school student recognition is coordinated by the club. There's always, every single one of these, there's always a way to volunteer. So if it's of interest to you, you let us know. As club members, typically, there's a small group of people that are helping to coordinate the recognition. A lot of times, us as members, we're going, and our participation is to come to lunch and sit with these great kids who have just done so much in their high school career. And it's an opportunity to recognize them as members of our community who have really given and are shining. And it's incredible to hear their resumes read by their teachers and principals. And it's a way to honor them and say thank you. This was something that, because of COVID last year, needed to be postponed. And I believe it's something that's going to have to be postponed again this year. So it's something to put on your radar for next year. It typically happens towards the end of their high school career. So late April, early March, or late April, early May. VI Sports Day. So excellent way to be able to participate. Anne, are you involved in this?
Typically I have been, Jim and I
Huh?
have been,
Yeah.
and but because of the nature of the physical, and contact and everything, that
Yeah.
was definitely postponed early this year.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna wait until we get the kind of the go ahead from Dr. Drosty, as well as it is primarily through Children's Miracle Network and DeVos
Yeah.
Children's Hospital, who are the real sponsors. So,
Yeah.
But it benefits us tremendously, and the kids that are within our 26 school districts within Kent Intermediate, and people who have gone through DeVos or Spectrum as kids who have had birth impairments due to visual implications. So we're waiting on COVID, but it definitely will not happen this year.
Yeah. And our role on the day-to-day, I know that we a lot of times help to prepare the food, and then we also volunteer for some of the activities for the children as well, correct?
Right, I would say, but the majority of the role is that they've been involved, the Lions have been involved in organizing, distributing the food and the drinks and refreshments, and it's across the state. So it's quite a big turnout.
Yeah. Wonderful. So another thing, put on our schedule for 2022.
Yep.
Yeah.
Positive outlook there.
Good. Yes. There will come a time.
There will.
So Drive for Vision is our annual golf outing as a club. It's designed to be a fundraiser for the Vision Clinic and also through the Association of Blind and Visually Impaired. And it's been running 34 years now. It's a great day as a member to there's so many different ways to volunteer in this because it is a large committee. We're always looking for people who can help to gather those who want to give charitably or help to organize the event. And then day of, both participation and volunteers are needed. It is planned to happen this June. So it'll be the third Monday in June. Forget the exact date. Let me look that up. I think it's
21st.
21st. Thank you. There it is. Plan June 21. And if you think that this is something you want to participate in or volunteer, and just reach out and we can get you planned in the right direction there. So a lot of people then ask, okay, so if we're raising this money, where's it going? Our primary sources here are Association for Blind and Visually Impaired and the Grand Rapids Lions Vision Clinic, and also, as we mentioned, through the White Cane Day, it's going towards the Kenton Intermediate School District for those with visual impairments. As a district, then the money is going to ABVI and Opportunities for Unlimited for the Blind. And as a state, you've probably heard mention of Leader Dogs for the Blind. That's where the state funds tend to go, and also the Eversight, which is formerly called the Michigan Eye Bank. There's also Bear Lake Camp, Lions of Michigan All-State Band, and the Lions of Michigan Foundation. So each of these are different ways in which our resources are distributed yearly.
John,
Yes.
there's one more under the club,
Yes.
and that is our own foundation.
Thank you. Yes.
So
Yep.
our own foundation, which has now over $1 million in it, kicks off about $45,000 a year that we put towards our charities. So that's was our attempt to self-perpetuate, so we can just have more money if we can't do as many fundraising activities. So
And we've seen the impact of that. I so appreciate you bringing that up, Gary, because we've really seen the impact of that in this last year. You think about the opportunity to get together and raise this money was limited. And yet at the same time, the need was very high in all these organizations for additional funds. And so having those gifts still spin off of the club foundation was very impactful. So some people ask then, okay, so what do our dues go for? And 100% of the funds raised actually go to the public and the beneficiaries supported by each club. So the club's members' modest annual dues cover the cost for the club administration, liability insurance, and then also international and local club dues and their liability insurances. So I think it's amazing that 100% of the funds go to the beneficiaries supported by each club.
yeah, that's money raised from the public, right? Our dues don't go to that. We don't give our dues money away. Our dues,
Oh, thank you.
again,
Thank you for
covers
clarifying that.
administration costs, like the building you saw there in Oak Brook with the 275 employees. We pay them.
Yes, indeed. Yes, gotcha. Thank you. I mentioned about I'll be sending out these links here as far as websites and some helpful things to know. But every single piece that we went through has a different website. So our club, the district, the state, the international. If you have any trouble logging in on our club website, we can help you with that. So after I send these links out, if you have not yet logged into your club site, let me know and we'll get you set up with that. There's also Lions University, which is a wealth of information. It's actually something that you can go on 24/7. There are people that have put together, there's a path that you can easily take step by step, and they have a bachelor's, master's, and doctorate program that you can walk yourself through at your own pace. And each of those different levels help you learn either different skills or different parts about how the club and international clubs functions. It's a wealth of information. I've spent many hours on there, and it's fascinating. We also have the newsletter that'll come out every couple of weeks, and that's designed to really keep everybody informed of what's going on in our club level, and embedded in that then are links out to these other places as well. And of course, our meetings is an excellent source, and all those wonderful emails we get from our club secretary, Cheryl. Those are always helpful. Kind of next up, something to put out there. I thought it was fascinating that we went to virtual for the Montreal Lions International Convention, but that is something you can still register for and would be phenomenal to attend. I forget which one this was a picture of. It might have been the one in Japan. I don't remember, but you could just tell in the picture here, like there's so many excited people that are interested in attending, and now you don't have to take a 20-hour plane ride anywhere. You could just jump right on and do it virtually. Let's see here. Okay, a little bit about, so there's Lions Club International, and then there's Lions Club International Foundation. Gary talked about our foundation as a club, and then this is actually a foundation for international. So a couple of notes here. We are all, because we're a member of Lions Clubs International, we're actually a member of Lions Clubs International Foundation, which is interesting to know. It grants on average over $50 million a year. It provides clubs with, basically monetary support to build schools, health clinics, vocational rehabilitation, training centers, and other projects. And there are, each year, there's ways in which clubs can go to LCIF for various grants. So if you have an idea, a way to give back to our local community, there may be a way where, as a club, if it sounds like it's something we can really work together towards, there may be a way that we can actually go see LCIF for some sponsorship of that.
And John?
Yes.
We have used that a lot. We've purchased some of our mission equipment with grants from LCIF. Also, Cherry Street Clinic, the Grand Rapids Lions Vision Clinic at the heart of the city health center,
Yes.
Was named the Grand Rapids Lions Vision Clinic because we pledged to raise $50,000 for the clinic. So we went to the foundation, LCIF, for a matching grant. We raised 50, they contributed 50. Well, we were able to roll over that money in some other matching grants around the state. And it turned out that we raised $823,000 for that. So we were able to multiply that grant money, and we were able to build 10 rooms and equip them all with that amount of money. So that was kind of a seed money, and that is a great story.
Yeah.
We put in money every year as a club. We put in money as donors There was just a telethon Sunday night for it from North America for the foundation. So we put in money, everybody, all the Lions around the world put in money to the foundation, and then you go to them for grant requests. And we get more back in grants than actually the money that we pay in. So
Wow.
again, they put out $50 million annually in the history since the foundation started in 1968. It's put out more than $1 billion worth of grants. It also does all the emergency grants. When there's a disaster somewhere,
Yeah.
the district governor can get an instant $10,000 payment. So if there's a tornado in Grand Rapids tonight,
Yeah.
tomorrow we can have $10,000 to go out and buy food, whatever we want immediately,
Yeah. Amazing.
and to supply when there's a disaster. So
Okay.
pretty amazing.
Indeed. Yeah.
Foundation. Wow.
Yeah. That's fast. Thank you.
That's the funding arm behind Lions International is
Yeah.
the foundation. So
Yeah. Good. And then briefly, we have LCIF Sites First goal, which is a portion of LCIF, but they are set up to help reduce and eliminate blindness worldwide. So basically focusing on the factors that are the leading causes of preventable blindness, and really looking at focusing on those and helping to eliminate those. Since 1990 in its launch, they've raised over 415 million for Sight First, making it the world's largest blindness prevention organization. And that's just one portion of all Lions Club. I think that's fascinating. Gary, you know a little bit about further into this the global leadership team, and this is a newer initiative in the last 4 or 5 years, I believe. You want to speak a little bit about that?
Did we lose him?
The global leadership team.
again, there's really three teams: global leadership team, global membership team, and global service team. So it divides Lions activities up into 3 areas. And leadership is just all the different leadership things that we do that are available to every Lion member. It's not just training somebody who gets to a certain level of leadership, but trying to train everybody in different for different activities. So it's what we have available here in Michigan is the Leadership Institute, which is every fall, and the USA Canada Lions Leadership Forum, which is in North America every year, which I was able to chair in Omaha in 2016. Another great event to go to, and it's a 3-day event, maybe 3.5 days. So we just have a lot of things to do. The Lions Learning Center on the website. You can go to that 24 hours a day and just learn history and a lot of stuff. So at kind of your own pace.
And the upcoming Leadership Institute, you can actually sign up for now that registration is open.
Well, yeah, that's actually the Leadership Forum, right?
Thank you.
And that's for
Thank
Des Moines, right?
That's
Of
that's
which
what I'm-
Cheryl is on that planning committee for, again.
yes. So from here, this is kind of interesting information because sometimes people, if you're out there wearing your Lions Club pin, will say, well, what does the Lions Club do? What do you guys do? An easy way to answer, our club is very focused on vision. But if you think about Lions Club International as a whole, they really look to focus on still focused, but it's a broader group. So vision, diabetes, hunger, environment, and childhood cancer. So that's Lions Club International. They're looking to take on those 5 different areas. And then LCIF looks to support youth disaster relief, and humanitarian support. And a lot of that is through, as Gary talked about, those grants that we mentioned. I'm going to send out, when we're done here, this email, and I will send these links to you plus others. And these are just great things. If you're kind of curious, hey, what's going on out there? How are other clubs still being able to service during this time when we can't really participate face-to-face as well as we'd like to? These different sites are excellent resources on learning more about how other Lions clubs are interacting. The Facebook page and the Twitter page are very much alive. They're updated all the time, and you could pick up on those pages. I personally prefer Twitter just because I can pick up the hashtags. I can plug that in then and see how other clubs are interacting based on hashtags that are put out there by Lions Clubs International. And it's a great way to, if you, as simple as if you want to make more social networking friends, great place to do it. So thank you for sitting through that. The last time Gary presented it, he's a wealth of knowledge. This is my first time presenting it, so I appreciate you all hanging in here with me. With that, what kind of information or questions do you guys want to cover?
But you have to unmute yourselves.
Yeah, if you have questions, great. If you don't, that's fine too.
Pam,
All right.
Pam, are you there, Pam?
I'm here, but I just have no questions. You talked so perfectly.
I love it, Pam. Thank you.
Pam, where are you? I heard you're out of town.
I'm in Denver at Kelsey's.
Oh, goodness. Say hi to Kelsey from me.
I will. And I'm hoping my camera's not on.
It's not.
It is not on. We hear voice of Pam. We don't see face of Pam. That's true.
Perfect. And thank you to Ann for sending me this, because it would have gone right past me.
I'm glad you could join us.
Good.
Thanks. Was interesting.
Good. Bottom line, it's amazing to think, our club, each club has their own flavor. And when you really think about how large Lions Club International is, and just to begin to imagine all the different flavors that 46,000 clubs would bring, it truly is amazing to be a part of this organization, and the impact and all the different needs and all the different ways we can help. It's a really, truly great organization that since 1917, it's proven we're better together, right? Everybody's talking about that now, but Lions Clubs International has been doing this since 1917.
John, what else that I've seen, which is amazing, especially in this past year, is that here we have nothing gets in the way. We have members of every faith, of every gender, that have changed genders, of every language, of every political background, and none of that gets in the way.
Yeah.
None of it gets in the way, and it doesn't stop us, and I've got friends around the world of every, whatever you would say, persuasion, and they're great Lions, and we do a job and you get it done, and it doesn't stop. So kind of if the country could follow what Lions Clubs is doing, we'd have a lot less discourse.
Yes, indeed. Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. I want to be respectful
John.
of our time and
Wonderful.
follow up by email. So if you have questions specifically, reach back out and we'll get you answers. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your
Thanks,
day.
John.
Good to see you,
Thank you.
Bob, Pam,
Great, everybody.
Shelley,
Thank
and
you.
Cheryl.
Thank you.
See you guys.